Oh my God.
Honorable
Oh my God.
Senior.
Yeah. Big 14, what the fuck going on? Hey. Hold up, take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. All these rags bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up, hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Put up in a drop top, she dropped it. I put up in a drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing hot skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing hot skies, they hold this. Yeah, hold up. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. Feel like bottom on top of your heart. Yeah, steady causing havoc. Yeah, bitch, I'm ballin' hard just like a maverick. Money stretch long, little bitch like elastic. Now that bitch steady calling me Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, hey, no, I keep a ratchet. If you play, boy, I turn your ass to ashes. Automatic, doom, little bitch, I'm blasting. Yeah, put you in a casket. Money sits long, it's elastic. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. I feel like Votto on top of your heart. Yeah, hold up, take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. All these rags bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up, hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Put up in a drop top, she dropped it. I put up in a drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing hot skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing hot skies, they hold this. Yeah.
Astral worlds, my planet, my home. Clouds too high, the fumes too strong. Mix this cup for way too long. Add it up, don't subtract it. Yeah. 46 with me and let's get blasted. Straight up, limbo drop like a dragon. Can't fall asleep at night cause they attacking. Yeah, I hop in the coupe, go insane. I disappear, go David Blaine. We don't live the same.
I really want to fade Tiger today. I hate saying that. It doesn't feel right. I mean, who else has the sack to do it?
How are we not pairing this with Judge? Fading the GOAT, I feel like a Judge pairing is required.
You know, Jovan, I could be convinced, and I think I am.
The Sooners to take care of business by 4+ runs tonight. I think the offense for Oklahoma really picks it up. When we have Kyson Witherspoon on the mound, I will take my chances that the offense is going to do enough to get this into a pretty ugly game.
There's not enough glue guys to go around, Jovan. They got no glue guys in that locker room in Philly. Zero. They got the opposite. They got the most toxic team of all time. They don't give a hoot. Let's leave them in the big 2-4.
Have to.
At least for now. I would have taken Peebles if he was up there.
I'm gonna mute.
Dude, there's no way we're talking about sped up videos.
Dude, he was cooking. He was absolutely cooking. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 655 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you haven't started tracking your bets on the big Bookit Sports app over there on the App Store, Google Play, maybe start tracking your bets over there today. All right, hold yourselves accountable. Know how many units you're up or down. Go use Bookit Sports to start tracking your bets in the big 2-5. Okay, Jovan, happy Tuesday. We got a big game tonight. We're going to be boots on grounds at the CAA championship. We're going to have to talk about this Delaware and UNC Wilmington game.
Sure.
All right. But before we do, yeah, that's a game of hell, to be honest with you. You got a 12-seeded Delaware team, Jovan. First time a 12 seed's ever made it to the finals. They're on absolute fire, and they're facing off against a team that covers every game, a team that is unfadable, a team that I've had zero luck betting against in my entire, betting career. So we'll have to talk through that Delaware and UNCW game and see what we can craft up. Maybe it's the under, but we got plenty to get to, Jovan, along with a couple other games as well. in CBB, some championships, some great matchups as well. A couple conferences starting up their conference tourneys as well. But before we dive into that stuff, why don't we go and get to the recaps? Let's go take a peep at the squad rides. That one's on me. That one's on me. Arkansas State never has the juice. It was a trap, and we fell for it. Troy, goodness gracious. What a tournament they had. Respect.
Yeah. They have some little magic, dude.
They put their foot on the gas at the end of that game as well. I mean, Arkansas State was fighting, right? They took the lead back late with a couple minutes left. Didn't matter. Troy closed the door. Troy closed the door the last 5-10 minutes of that game. My goodness. They might win a game in March Madness.
Yeah,
they might win a game in March. Let's take a peep at the Sharp Report recap and see how we did overall. Jovan, 3-2, W Day. I went 2-3. I got some work to do today. Shout out Olmark for coming through on the less than 2.5 goals allowed. Nick Anderson was just banging threes left and right, late for Furman to no avail. Wofford ended up winning that game. They flipped to a favorite right before the game started, so kind of knew that was coming. Cake for the Furman future there, Jovan. But Delaware coming through last night outright against Towson. Towson's a team that I believe 4 straight years in a row has now lost in the CAA semifinals. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. That simply cannot happen. Simply cannot happen. All right, Jovan. What about Luka coming through with no LeBron? The assist square that people were bitching a lot about. Great work on that one.
Yeah, not great people. Just Trent, dude. Trent was just bitching.
Okay. Sure. W's chat. We're going to get Elf on here in a moment as well. It's been a while since we've had a guest on. Tonight. Yeah, we're going to talk about Gonzaga. We're going to talk about Gonzaga here in a little bit. They are favorites against a team that they have been beaten by twice this year. Are we losing plot here?
Yeah, you're on Saturn. You're back now.
10-4s? Okay. We got to get this internet figured out here. Can't make it up. But we're going to get Elf on here in a minute, guys. We're going to talk to him a little bit about his come up. It's been a while since we've had another guest on here. And look, it's been almost 3 years since I've been doing BTL and since we started up the show. When we started it, the goal was to make the best sports betting show out there by far, by any means necessary, right? That was the end goal here, at least for me on Behind the Lines. And back in the day, we used to have guests on here all the time, Jovan. That's kind of how we built up the show when it first got started, when I was in the kitchen cooking up winners, getting guests on and kind of growing the brand. I feel like I've kind of gone away from that a little bit of late, trying to just focus on Bookit and BTL and growing that. But I feel like we've missed out on having some cool guests and people in this space who have grown and getting them on here and kind of hearing their stories. So I'm going to try to bring that back a little bit here in the Big 2-5. You know, not every day, not every week, but kind of cool to talk to some new goats in this space. And we've got one today, Elf, who's extremely popular right now, trending in the sports betting space. We'll see what's going on with him in those spaces once he joins here in a moment. Right. And yeah, he should be hopping on here any minute. Once he does, we'll get him on here. But Jovan, excited to talk about some college basketball as well in the boots on ground game, Delaware UNCW. I guess while we wait here for a sec, do you have any thoughts on that game? On the Blue Hens versus this UNCW team that wins and covers every game?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I want to do, Krabs. I want to stick to it. I want to ride the magic. The Blue Hens just have just incredible aura. They play hard, great defensive team, but they can also score. UNCW finally didn't cover a game last night, even though they won. So what if the magic is dying, Krabs? I don't want to be on the other side of the Blue Hens tonight.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I do either, Jovan, but here's the one issue that I have. Okay. Every time I fade UNC Wilmington, I lose all my coins. And once again this season, they are 20-11 against the spreads. How do they do it year in and year out?
Yeah.
Jovan, how? Seriously, how? This team gets no respect by the odds makers, and they come through and they win outright all the fucking time. So I don't know what I'm going to do here. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about, the rules that I make, going through the slate and putting teams in timeout off to the sides. UNCW is certainly one of those teams that I've put off to the sides over the last year or so. But Jovan, you're right, man. This Delaware Blue Hens team, they got some magic going on right now, and I kind of want to get involved. And after cashing last night, watching that game against Towson, they simply look like a new ball club. they look like a completely different team than they looked like 2 weeks ago. It's crazy. They got confidence. The coach is chirping. CBS saying, "Oh, I'm just happy we're allowed to be on TV tonight." He was talking about yesterday. So good sense of humor as well. W's from Delaware. And I kind of want to back him again today, but I will be breaking my rule, fading UNCW. So we're going to have to talk through that and see if I'm allowed to do that. Maybe we'll have chat decide, or we'll let Goots decide.
Might have to.
Okay. Sure. All right, guys. We're going to get our GOAT Elf on here and see what's good with him. We're going to, enough waiting, right? Let's cut to the chase and get him up here. Our GOAT Elf, who's been growing a ton on X, running these spaces of late. Let's go ahead and bring him up here and see what Elf's got going on a Tuesday afternoon. What's up, Beast? How we doing?
How we doing, boys? Can you guys hear me or no?
Sure.
Yeah, you're good.
Sound crispy,
Let's
sound
go.
good.
Awesome. I was worried. How we doing, boys? Yeah, it's been a good start to the morning. I'm not gonna lie to the people that they have me. I feel a little sick. I can't lie. So
oh shit, you got a little frog in your throat. Okay.
Got a little frog in the throat. It's
okay.
I don't know. It's a little scary, but
Well, look, you're questionable to come on the stream, but good to hear you're going to give it a go. You're going to go ahead and go through pregame warm-ups and see if you can go out there and play. So,
absolutely.
And also good to see that you're not a vampire and you're able to do stuff during the day. I feel like people are only used to your fucking spaces at nights, running it until the wee hours of the night, but you're here during the day. Good to see you, Elf. Thanks for hopping on. Long overdue. And you've been growing a ton on X especially. So I wanted to get you up here and kind of talk through your story. We sunk up the other day and you were kind of talking to me about it, but whatever you're comfortable with sharing, but let the people know like what you're doing right now, what you were doing before, are you going all in on this idea, former job, shit like that, whatever you want to share, let the people know what you were doing before and what your plan is now.
Yeah. So beforehand, I guess like a year ago today, I was working full-time as an actuarial analyst. So I was a math major in school and, I kind of stumbled across gambling as we all do, as everyone in here is. It's very fun stuff. And I was very good at it. So I was managing, working during the day, gambling at night. And then I had like, my actuarial exams I had to study for. So I was pretty much doing like 3 separate full-time jobs at the same time a year ago today. And I initially built like a name for myself, just kind of like promoting, my strategies, my gambling strategies. And I had like, larger accounts like help me grow alongside like the softwares I was promoting and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I, made a name for myself. And a year ago today, I was still small, just growing, kind of like everyone else, just enjoying what they do. Yeah. And then now I'm doing these Twitter spaces at night. You guys, I know both of you guys have been in there. Jovan has made an appearance on the Elf Spaces in its early stages.
Yeah, super brief. Yeah, I was up there.
Super brief. He was up there. But yeah, they've just taken off. I mean, the people love it. I would say people are comparing it to like the Jerry Springer show of gambling Twitter. It's completely raw, unfiltered. It's kind of like I'm capturing the hate that goes on in the gambling Twitter comments on a live show. And it is it's entertaining. The people love it, and it's helping me grow my Twitter and it's giving people some laughs. So that's the idea.
Sure.
Yeah.
You've been killing it with the spaces, man. You got any big ones coming up this week? Any people you're to talk about or any plans?
So we were supposed to have Watson, like his name's like Watson. He's supposed to be last night, but there was some like tech difficulties with the spaces, and then we're rescheduling that one. We have this guy named like Rich Official who's got like 1 million followers on Instagram. He's going to come on the spaces for an interview. He's like number 8 on WAP. Like this guy like crushes in sales. He's like a complete character. Like if you go to his Instagram page, he looks like a rapper pretty much. He's just like selling like more picks than, then I'll make in 1 month. He's selling more picks than I'll make like this year. So it'll be a good episode. But yeah, we love to, bring on guests, and I don't know. It's gotten to a point where the show's big enough that I could pitch it to anyone, and there's a good chance they'll say yes if they're in the gambling niche, which is like really, really cool. But it is like ironic that I'm reaching out to these people from like an Instagram, my personal Instagram page with like 800 followers. I'm like, hey, like I got this, the show on Twitter, and these guys on Instagram, they don't care about Twitter, right? Because Twitter's hard to manage, but I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're doing a good job, man, and I'm excited to see what goats you get on the spaces going forwards. And do me a favor, if you ever get Matt Zilbert back on there, can you ping me? You have my number now.
I will ping you
because I'd love to just have a combo with that guy and just see
Yeah,
what the fuck is good with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me know next time he's in that puppy. I'd love to have a combo with that guy.
We need that like literal air. I need Krabs bitching in there for hours into the night at Matt Zilbert.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We had Zilbert on I think like 2 days ago. He was there, and Trent popped back in. But yeah, no, I got you, Krabs. I got you with that.
Sure.
Zilbert owes me.
Just let me know.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah, he does after that whole, Payne fiasco. Sure. Yep. Insane.
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to ask you, you talk about, you're dealing with a lot of the drama on X and in sports betting and in this space. And there's a ton of hatred. There's a ton of drama in this space. It's extremely toxic. I'm sure you've learned that already, but I don't know. What are some of like the highlights or the lowlights that you've learned about this, space from doing your spaces? No pun intended. It could be something good that you've learned about the sports betting space. It could be something bad. I don't care what it is, but what's something that stuck out to you since you've been doing these spaces?
Yeah, I think the highlight of the spaces for me is when you bring on a character and they start like talking shit about someone else, right? Just like for no reason. And as this is going on, I will be DMing that person that they're talking shit about. Like, yo, this guy's saying this about you. Like, you got to get in here. And I think the best moment of the spaces was Jeff Nadeau was calling Spanky a rat because Spanky has this like civil case. It was like 10 years ago. There was like 25 of them. And Spanky didn't get charged, right? So Nadeau was like, this looks like a rat move. Like, and I was like, Nadeau, like, are you calling Spanky a rat? He's like, yeah, I am. And then Spanky was hearing this, and he came onto the spaces and just absolutely, obliterated Nadeau. He was like, you're calling me a rat, like you're liable and get paid a visit. And it was like a viral clip. It was awesome. But I think those are the highlights, is when like, beef gets like settled on the spaces. So that was a good one.
Sure.
Sean Perry came in once and he dropped the highlight. He was also arguing with Spanky. He said, if I'm ever broke like you and only betting $100,000 a game, I'll shoot myself in the head.
100K?
That one was 100K game.
I bet.
It was pretty funny. Because Sean he wagers $500,000 a game. Anything else is poverty for him. So
surely that's true, right?
Funny one.
I'm sure.
I think the low light actually on the spaces was and this was like the first time I've ever like broken my word to anyone else. Like it was Mickey Mace. So Sean Perry was like crashing out at Mickey Mace on the spaces. And what BJ did, BJ's like the person who does my timestamps. He reached out to Mickey and he was like, listen, we're bringing on Sean Perry. He's going to like, say things about you. Like, we would love if you were there to defend yourself, right? And then Mickey said, okay, I'm down. I'll come on the show, but only if you don't have Sean on the show. He's like, that's my one stipulation. He's like, you cannot bring Sean on the show if I come on the show. And then, I had already agreed with Sean to bring him on the show. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I'm gonna sleep on it, right? So I literally didn't know what to do. So I slept on it. And I wake up and Sean Perry had leaked my texts on the internet. My phone number was out there. People were texting me and stuff like that, like, yo, Elf, this and that. I'm like, okay, fuck this guy. Like, I'm doing this with Mickey instead. So what happened was bring on Mickey Mace. He was dope, right? Like he was probably one of the more fun segments. Like he was telling some crazy party stories. Like the man is a complete character. And there's like 1.5K people in the spaces at like midnight. And it's like so many people in there. And Sean Perry is just like crashing on Twitter about how like he's being silenced, this and that. And then Trent, actually, I'm blaming Trent for this one. He said he was going to start a rival spaces and bring Jack Mac, Nadeau, and Man of the Vig with him to do the Sean Perry segment. And I was like, oh man, you're stealing like my whole squad. Like running a show is hard, man. You need people to like help you with the show, right? Like you guys are a duo. I have
100%.
People. Yeah, I'm like, I can't lose my show. So, and there's 1.5K people in there. My whole audience is like watching this happen. I'm like, I'm literally going to lose my show like right now if I don't like break my word to Mickey Mace. So I let in Sean Perry to, crash out at like 2 a.m. on Twitter, and Mickey Mace, who was like, this guy's a celebrity. Like, he's probably like a C-list celebrity, but like in the gambling scene, everyone knows who he is. This guy was like so cool, so nice, so down to earth to me, gave me a chance to come on my show. Right. And I completely broke his word the first day I met him. And that was like the first time I've ever broken my word with anyone. Like, it wasn't even about like, there was nothing to do with money or anything like that. Like, but I broke my word to someone, like, and there's really no excuse for it. So that was probably the low light. Like, that was like a true, like,
is he pissed at you still now, or does he not give a hoot?
Is. No, he's pissed. He doesn't, he doesn't fuck with me. He doesn't answer my DMs.
Well, you can't win them all, and you'll learn that in this space. You're going to piss people off. The more you grow, the more you do, and you just got to try to keep doing the right thing as much as you can. Whatever that is, and there's tough decisions to make, right? But you'll be all right. Just make the right decision, try to do the best thing, and it usually plays out pretty well. What's good with this push-up bet that I've been seeing on the feed? I've been seeing you talking about this as well. What's up with this push-up bet, and how did this start? And are you going to be able to pump out 60 push-ups in a minute?
It's 50, and I'll tell the lore for you, Krabs. Right? I'll tell the lore. So, Amanda Vance came onto the show like a week ago or something like that, and she was supposed to do a full interview. Like, I expect my guests to like stay for at least 45 minutes to an hour, like at a minimum. And a thing that I always promise my guests is like, no matter who you are, like I can literally bring on Putin, and the first 15 to 20 minutes will be an interview, right? Like about your life, who you are, how you got to where you are. And that's what I told Amanda, right? And I was like, okay, you can come on. So I bring her on, and she does that for 15 minutes and just leaves. She didn't answer a single question about like, what she like her pick selling or anything. Like, a big thing on my spaces is like, if you sell picks, people have the right to question you. What is your edge, right? Like, what value do you provide to your customers? And she left. So what ended up happening was people on Twitter, my followers, were enraged, and it kind of sparked this whole thing. And so that kind of led into the next part of the show, where she kind of just she came back onto the spaces, and she starts like chatting up, whatever. And it became like more casual. So now I'm going to Miami, and we're doing like an in-person show. But 2 days ago, we started talking about like, oh, how many push-ups can I do? Right. Just like, show stuff. And people were like, send a line, whatever. And Amanda comes back in, and she's like, listen, if you could do 50 push-ups in a minute, I will buy you the tickets to the NHL game we're going to. Right. So now the stakes are hot. The stakes are high because she's buying the tickets. So
a lot of pressure on you too.
Lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So what I did was I posted the clip on Twitter, and the line was put up on available places, and now people are they're wagering on it. So I just checked before this. There's been $65,000 wagered on my prop for Thursday if I could do 50 push-ups. So
can you see the splits at all? Like what people are betting? Who's nuking what side?
People are like, I can't see like the splits, like on Pickett, like public, where's the public money? But like people are calling me. They're like, yo, can you do the push-ups? And I'm like, dude, I can't say. Like, there's literally like
They're
much.
Trying to get some insider info from you.
They're trying to get insider info. But I will say this: there's two people who know me in person who have put positions on this. One of them is Brett. He has $8,200 on my over, and there's another person who's met me who has my under. So the two people who know me have opposite positions. I know the number because I've done it, like practice rounds. So I know that, but I can't share. I don't want to ruin.
Yeah, don't spoil it. We don't need to go down that path. But what time is that? If people want to lock in and they want to see this play out, is this Thursday night?
Thursday at 10:30 Eastern, live on the spaces. I will be doing the push-ups, and I already know what's going to happen, Krabs. So like it's inevitable. There's so much money on the line here. Let's say I do complete the 50, people are going to be like, "Oh, this one was bad. That one doesn't count." You know what I mean?
They're going to be watching you like a fucking hawk. It's going to be like when those kids do the halftime contest during these CBB games, and then their foot's on the 3-point line and the company refuses to pay them out. Yeah, you better make sure you have the right form and you're doing those push-ups right, or they're going to get you.
I know.
Yeah,
I've been training.
100%.
I've been doing,
okay.
Like the people who have me, my over, they're telling me some workouts. Like I'm doing some weighted push-ups.
You're not getting complacent. You're grinding this week. You're trying to lock in for Thursday night, it seems like. Okay.
No, I'm locked in. I can't mess this one up. You know what I mean? And if I do go under, it's a lose-lose. Like if I go under, it was rigged, right? People are gonna say I, took a bag to sell, whatever.
There's no winning in that situation.
There's no winning, right? Like they put up the market and there's nothing I can do. I'm a player prop now. Like people are gonna try to make money off me. It's pretty funny. So yeah. That's the story.
I'm excited to see that one play out, Alf. Not gonna lie to you.
I'm nervous. I can't lie. Okay, go ahead.
Hey, we got to power through and go through some of these plays we've got, Alf. But before we wrap up, right. I got one more question for you. I know you're not spraying the boards as much as maybe we are. You're not, locking in a couple plays per day. You're more of a plus EV better. And look, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. So if you're making coins, you're making coins. But my question is, do you have any plays going on right now? You got any plays going on tonight yet, or no dice?
No, nothing yet. Nothing yet. I just kind of got started. Okay. Yeah, so nothing yet.
All right.
But yeah, Krabs, if you want me on something with you, we could squad ride it right now. I'll tune in. Or is that happening after this?
Jovan, we got any early games? Do we want to do a little early squad ride sweat in CBB? I know we got some conference tourney action going on.
Do we have some early games?
What about Pitt Notre Dame?
God, horrendous game.
Let me check the line.
Horrible game.
We got a couple early games. We got Pitt Notre Dame. We got Colorado TCU. Is another early start as well. Jovan's alma mater.
Goated.
What do you think, Jovan? You think it's Pitt on the money line?
-3 on the money line.
I mean, I would be caught dead betting on Notre Dame after winning game of the year against Cal, triple overtime or 4 overtimes or however it fucking ended. So I can get down with Pitt. It's probably not, but
yeah, our producer is a big Notre Dame guy. He's going to be pissed. But
is he?
What about a little Pitt ML sweat to get the day started? Against the Irish?
I'm going to ride it with you boys if we're doing this. All right.
I'll lock it in. I'll go half units.
Half a unit
on this puppy. Right. Still a good chunk of change, though. Don't worry, Alf. Still over $100 here. But how about Pitt ML? I think they beat Notre Dame here. I think their season's over.
Yeah, I think I'll wager $30 on it in honor of our man Matt Silver.
Sure.
Love that.
But
yeah,
I will
please let me know next time he's in that space. It's like seriously, because I'll be in there in a heartbeat. Let me know. I just want to have a talk.
Absolutely.
Quick check.
Alf, appreciate you coming out, my man. We'll run this again.
Absolutely.
Good luck on the spaces this week, and good luck on Pitt ML.
Yeah, right? Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Right. Take care.
Of course, my man. Good luck out there. We'll be.
Dubs.
Peace, brother. W Elf. Kind of a vibe. Maybe not, super locked into the early CBB slate, but that's okay. He's squad riding Pitts. He's a team player. He said, I'm fucking in. W Elf. W Pitt ML. I know you got to lay some juice here, but I don't see Pitt losing this game to the Irish. I think the Irish season's done. And like you said, Jovan, they're coming off of 2 wins. They're coming off their Super Bowl already when the coach made a ruckus in the post-game presser a couple weeks ago. They started to lock in. They beat Stanford. They beat Cal with a 112 piece in their last game. I feel like we're legally obligated to fade Notre Dame and back Pitt. Goots, I want to apologize right now. Goots, I'm sorry.
Shit's cake.
Yeah, there it is. Now Goots is mad at me because we're fading the Irish. Damn it. All right, W's. Let's keep moving and grooving, guys. We got a lot of games to go over today. Looks like we got Cincy and OK State started up right now. Cincy up about 7 early on, about halfway through the first. We got Picks with Deej coming in resubbing for today. Let's fucking go, dude. Sure we can. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. All right, I would love to talk about some of our favorite plays for today. Maybe we could dive right in head first to the Sharp reports.
Sure.
Hit the book plays. Okay. I got a couple CBB plays that are looking at me funny. All right. We could start out with Siena. The Siena Saints. This Siena team stinks, but they're supposed to be better. They have a better roster than their records, and they're catching steam when they were already fatter favorites than I expected here. Siena opens up -4.5. They're down to -4 some places. Sorry, they opened at -3.5. They're up to -4.5 right now. -4 some places still, though, if you want to get some CLV. But Siena, a team that lost to Rider twice this season, Jovan, they're facing off against a Rider team in their conference tourney right now. And Rider has won 3 straight games as well to end the season, but 2 of those wins were against Canisius and Niagara, who are playing some of the worst basketball I've seen all season. Those teams are dog shit right now. They're terrible. And I'm not really counting those 2 wins for much credit for Rider here, and I want to lean into Siena, a team that's lost to Rider twice this season, that's somehow favorites and catching steam as well. This makes no sense to me. I'm going to lay it with Siena. This team, this roster is better than their records. I'll tell you right now, they put some NIL money into the squads. It has not come to fruition, but they've got a chance to hit the reset button heading into this conference tourney, Jovan, and they've got a chance to make a move in the first round of this MAC tournament up there in Atlantic City. And I think they got a chance to win big against Rider, who beat them twice during the regular season.
I can get down with that, Krabs. I
Okay.
can get down with that for sure. The Saints.
Sure. The Siena Saints. Yep. Let's swing it around. I want to see what straight bet you're cooking up, Jovan, first on the list. Take me to CBB.
Yeah, start with some points on that absolute horrid court in Kansas City. But probably the worst game of the day, I would say, in UCF Utah, but maybe one of the more entertaining ones because I think we get points in that game. 2 of like the fastest teams in the Big 12, but also just horrendous defenses. UCF especially is so horrid at the rim, and it's a terrible matchup for them because Utah, they lead, I think, the Big 12 in assisted percentage of buckets, which basically just means their offense, it's either a Gabe Madsen Chuck shot against all odds, or more times than not, it's within the flow of the offense, and you have a defense that's as poor and turns the ball over as much as UCF does, so easy points off turnovers. Really bad matchup for their defense, which you can say about a lot of teams in the Big 12, but I think it especially applies to Utah. So I think Utah's offense is going to do what Utah's offense does against really bad defenses, and then UCF is going to play fast because that's their best way to stick in the game. Utah loves to pack the paint. They have height. UCF's going to make sure they get out and go in transition and go fast to kind of counteract that. And they tried to do that the first game. The first game was 76-72 that they played in Orlando, so fell short of this total, obviously, but a lot of that came because, they shot really poorly from the field, really poorly from 3. So as we've gone on through the year, Utah's defense has also gotten a lot worse against the 3. So hoping we get either you can name a bunch of guards that could show up, and additionally like Keyshawn Hall, even though he's not like a huge perimeter shooting guy, but I think UCF's going to have some success too. So I'm taking the over.
Some points. Back at some points in a game that made my head hurt when I was looking at it this morning. 2 teams who I know are better than they played this season. Tough to figure out what side I liked in this one, Jovan. Part of me was like, you know what, maybe UCF hits the reset button and they show up and play well like they did at times in the beginning of the season. And then I was like, you know what, maybe it's Utah here, who fired their coach, and they had a couple decent games afterwards to close out the season. Either way, I think points is probably a pretty good look here, and back in both squads to show up. Both teams, a little bit of a disappointment this regular season. Maybe they can show up and show out tonight in this matchup. I like the play, and I like the total moving up a point as well in the first round of the Big 12 tourney. Sign me up.
Yep.
I'm in. All right, Goodsy, swing it back around for me, will you? We got the big bat coming in, resubbing as well. We need Elf to get Krabs and Zach Hampel in the spaces together. If he gets Zach Hampel in the spaces, that would be something.
I'd pay every dollar, every cent in my bank account to see Krabs, Zobert, and Hampel in the space at the same time.
Bro, I don't know if we'd all make it out of there alive.
Every cent.
I'll be honest. All right, let's talk about the Zags. My favorite play today. If you got to lay some juice today, you got to lay some juice today. And it's Gonzaga at 9 p.m. tonight against St. Mary's. Guys, do I have to sell it? Do I have to sell it? Jovan, I mean, this is maybe the craziest line of the season for the Zags. Favorites, neutral site. St. Mary's looking like the best St. Mary's team I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I've seen a lot of really fucking good St. Mary's teams, dude.
Yeah.
This might be the best one yet, straight up. Maybe not the best players, but the best team overall. And Coach Bennett, it deserves Coach of the Year. I'll say it. Like, that guy's coaching his fucking ass off. And then sweeping Gonzaga during the regular season, surely plus 4.5 pays out. Surely plus 150 pays out for the Gales, right? Well, St. Mary's can have those 2 games in the regular season, Jovan. Gonzaga's going to win when it matters. And this is a game where Khalif Battle earns his NIL paycheck. This is a game where we sit there and we hope that Graham EK doesn't fuck it up. Please don't fuck this up, Graham EK. Just don't turn the ball over 10 times and you win the game. Don't turn the ball over 10 times and Gonzaga wins this game. That's all it comes down to be honest with you. And Gonzaga, Khalif Battle looking better of late. Maybe him and Coach Few had a couple beers and settled whatever beef they had going on. You know, Mark Few's been drinking a couple beers. Jovan, Khalif Battle's looked a lot better out there for the Bulldogs of late. And I think that continues, and he carries this offense along with Graham EK to a big-time win against a team they lost to already this season twice, but they're catching steam, and they're favorites against the Gales. Crazy line. I'm taking it.
Pretty wild line. I'll lay the points. I'm not scared of the points, but I'm getting involved.
Okay.
You know I am.
Okay. You want to take the spread, huh?
Yeah.
That's more than fair, and I'm pretty soft for wanting to lay the ML. I 100% agree. But the amount of coins I'm going to have on this play is probably why I had the ML up here on the boards. And I'm not trying to flex. Honestly, my sneak nuke over the last weekend did not fucking hit on Sanford, so I'm not going to sit up here and act like that means it's hitting. Okay, but I do want to play Gonzaga for a couple sneak units. Might have to go ML, or maybe I'll split that puppy.
I was going to say my plan, because I feel I'm right there with you. I want to have a sneak unit involved for sure. I'm going to take the points, and then God forbid there's a live ML situation.
Sure,
that's my plan.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Gonzaga. I feel like every single time I watch the Zags against St. Mary's, even the couple times they have won over the years, they always start out terribly.
Always, dude.
St. Mary's always comes out hot. Yep. Great live bet spot. But you know what? After saying that, you know it's about to happen. It'll be the first ever 20-0 run to start a game. Let's hope so.
If that happens, I'll take my unit and walk out happy.
Sure. Could not agree more. Okay. What's up, Big Cheesy? How we doing, Goat? We got some goats in the chat. Good to see you guys enjoying that Mark Few joke. You know I'm always good for a Mark Few joke or two per year. Come on. He deserves it. Don't drive drunk. Jovan, let's swing it around. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel bad making fun of Mark Few. I'll be honest.
Don't do it.
All right. The Seminoles. And hey, you mentioned this is a good time to bring up the pods, right? We did the pod last night. We released the pod, W Goots. We put the pod out this morning, W Goots, W Ethan for editing that puppy, W Jovan as well. The Power Conference CBB pod is up and moving, folks. It's up and moving. Do me a favor, guys. Go to the YouTube, click the like button, check it out, bookmark it for later. And if you want to listen to it, maybe you got to go to the grocery store. Maybe you're going for a run later and you want to get some knowledge going in your brain and not just some brain rot or listening to some music. Maybe check out the pod on Spotify or Apple Music. It's up there. Okay, check it out. W Pods. Looks like Godsynth already peeped it. W's.
Sure.
So did Yay Lads. Nice. Same with Z Shrek. You guys don't know how happy that makes me. Reading the chats of you guys already listening to this puppy. Like Lightning as well. W's. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Make sure you drop a like on the YouTube. It helps more than you guys know. That's why I keep yapping about it. Please drop a like and subscribe. Okay. With that being said, you talked about the Seminoles a little bit. I don't want to spoil, but you talked about them when we were going over the ACC. What do you like about the Seminoles today, Jovan?
I mean, just quick summary of some of the stuff we talked about on the pod. The first thing, I guess the main overarching thing is, this is Leonard Hamilton's send-off in the ACC tournament. They're obviously not making the actual tournament, but I still have felt all year that there is some magic coming at the end, even if it doesn't amount to anything, because obviously FSU is not winning the ACC tournament, but there's some kind of magic in the back end of the season that I always felt that FSU was going to have. And maybe you've seen it already once because they took down SMU, which I don't know if that was like the kill shot to SMU's tournament hopes, but it probably should be. And it especially will be if they beat them again in the rematch, if they take care of business today. But I wanted something in the Noles because it's been in the plums for a bit now, and thankfully they get to play Syracuse, which, Syracuse has Krabs. They have good old Eddie Lampkin, and he's going up against a much bigger, much more physical, much more athletic team, which those are the teams that he struggles against. Just like, the first matchup where FSU dominated them, he damn near fouled out in like 20 minutes. So he was essentially a non-factor. And if you look at how Syracuse has been doing down the stretch, especially when they need offense against, lankier teams, if he's not a factor, they are struggling big time. And especially adding to the fact that this FSU team doesn't just have size, athleticism, and physicality on the inside. They have it everywhere because they're a football team. They play a bunch of forwards. They really only have one like actual guard on the roster. So I feel like that's a pretty disastrous matchup for Syracuse. And I think FSU's defense is going to be big in this one. They're really going to make, I don't know, Syracuse shoot over top of them consistently, which I don't think is sustainable for the entirety of the game. Then on the other side, I mean, Eddie Lampkin is just not a good defender either. He is a cone. So whether you have Jameer Watkins in the pick and roll or they just let him ISO and get switches, God forbid he gets on Eddie Lampkin, that's barbecue chicken. God forbid Malik Ewan goes one-on-one on the post. And he's one of the most underappreciated guys, I think, in all of the ACC because you have Cooper Flagg, you have Raynaud, a lot of big men. Nobody really talks about Ewan, but he's an absolute beast, an absolute monster, and he has a great matchup tonight against Eddie Lampkin. So I think to win this game, if you're Syracuse, you have to turn into the Warriors. And I know FSU's three-point defense has been really, really bad this season, but when you have so much athleticism and you have you're kind of pinholed into that and don't have too much, I think, in the paint, I think that's a lot to ask. So I'm taking the Noles.
Taking the Noles. Sign me up. I'm in. You're all over this team. Maybe they do something crazy in this tourney for Coach Hamilton. Wouldn't that be something? That would bring some joy to my heart. That would bring joy to my heart. Yeah, W's chats. You guys know we're going to be buying MLB The Show. That's not even a question. Rumor has it drops on Friday?
Yeah. Does it drop on Friday at like a normal time, like in the middle of the day, or is it midnight Friday? Or I guess it would be midnight Thursday.
Money talk. Good luck out there. Somebody's
Thursday
winning.
Night.
Probably Thursday night at midnight, right?
We might have to rip a stream on Friday night.
Yeah.
Show.
I got some time on Friday. I can't do Saturday, but I could do Friday.
Yeah, we might have to rip some co-op and watch Trent toss turkeys, man.
I don't know if chat wants it, though. They might not want to stream on Friday.
Might not want it.
They don't seem too excited about it. Nope. You got to pre-order it to play a week early. Oh, I am a sucker for paying double to play a week early. Sign me up.
Yeah.
You're not going to tell me twice, fat girls.
Diamond Dynasty packs and shit, too.
Sure.
Get the squad.
Sign me up. I am a sucker for paying double for the same game. I love it. Sure, throw a couple extra packs. Let me play a couple days early. Sure. I'll pay double. Shit, I pay triple. All right, let's stay locked in here. Florida State play. And yes, chat, we will get MLB The Show up and moving. Don't you worry. I'm sure LC wants to get involved. I'm sure Trent will maybe want to get involved. Who knows? Although he sucks at the game. Maybe we could do some sort of 2v2 on the show. 24 hours starting at BTL on Thursday. Kyle B, not the worst idea, but I'm thinking we wait till KBO. If we could just be patient for another couple weeks and do it during KBO, I feel like it'll just be a better product. Right? Better product. Let's wait for the KBO. A couple weeks. All right? DJ Fitz, few more. Sure. Why not, DJ Fitz? Love that. I don't remember what you're talking about, but I love it. All right. Swing it around, Gootsy, if you don't mind. I got a couple plays for the peeps. Jalen Green ruined a 24-hour opportunity. Thanks, fat girls. Okay. Already talked about Sienna. Already talked about the Zags. Jovan, we got one more nasty play for the peeps here. It has to be done. Back in UTEP. Yeah, the Miners. It's been a while since I've backed UTEP, and probably for a good reason. They stink, and they've lost a bunch of games in a row as well. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They've lost like 5 games in a row, and they're not just losing. They're kind of getting embarrassed. I mean, they just played Sam Houston. That game wasn't too bad. They lost by 2, the team they're playing tonight. They just played them 2 games ago. They lost by 2. A lot of their other games, though, like against Louisiana Tech on the road after that, they got blown out. Embarrassing performance for a UTEP team that showed some life earlier on this season. I'm a little bit embarrassed for this UTEP squad, and I think this is the perfect time in the first round of the Conference USA tournament when this team can hit the reset button. They could say, all right, we closed the season atrociously, but we're still sitting over 500. We're still the 8th seed against the 9th seeds, and they are more than capable of getting revenge against Sam Houston, a team that just beat them a couple days ago by 2 points. But let's not forget back in January when they played and UTEP was looking a little bit better, UTEP beat them by 10 points. So they split the season matchups. And I like UTEP, who has not covered or won a game in almost 2 weeks. Has to be done. They're catching about 2 points of steam as well. I'm starting to see some -3s popping up, Jovan. This is -1 this morning. Sure. Great sign for UTEP, a team that hasn't sniffed a win in almost 2 weeks. Has to be done.
The Miners.
Has to be done.
Down for that. Down for that.
Also, full transparency, I just locked in Pitt on the ML, and I didn't realize that it was up to -190. on the money line. And that's what I gave out when Elf was on here for a early squad ride. So, I'm embarrassed to give out a minus 190 as a mini squad ride. But to be honest, it was a mini squad ride put on the spot before we ended that segment. So I'm not too worried about it, guys. I would not be nuking that play on the ML now that they're up to minus 200s. Before the show, they were sitting around minus 150. So that's on me for not noticing the steam that they caught while we were on there. I would never give out a minus 2 fucking hundreds. Okay, but I did still tail it since I said it for half a unit. Unit on Pit ML. So you guys know I'm sticking true to my word. All right, but that's a moose shit squad route, and I take the blame for not knowing it was minus 200s. Okay, that's on me if you guys want to sit that one out. Jovan, you got one more straight bet for the peeps.
I do. I absolutely do. And
DJ Fitz one more.
Yeah, going to a game or a team, I guess you got involved with their game yesterday. And you got an Olmark masterclass last night.
Yes, we did.
Which, not just because of the goals. See how many saves he had, Krabs? 48.
No way he had a 48 piece.
Yeah, he got ripped on.
That's crazy.
All game. It was insane. He was standing on his head. So now they're on the back end of a back-to-back, and I think it's another one of these like desperation spots for the Flyers because they're not quite on the end of their little homestand because they have one more or a couple more after this, but this is in the middle of a very long, I think 7-game homestand. They've lost the first 4 in pretty embarrassing fashion. The only game that they saw even a semblance of offense was also when they gave it up the most against the Flames, who were coming off of a really bad performance, and then they spawned up 3-0, and the game ended 6-3. The 3 games other than that, or after that, the Flyers scored 1 goal in all of the losses. So their offense has been pitiful, and this is the game, I guess the only winnable game, it seems. Not that they can't lose the other teams, but they have the Lightning and the Hurricanes coming in to close that homestand. So this is the game I think you have to get up for and be super aggressive, especially when you have a Sens team that not only got ripped on last night, but they're obviously on a back-to-back. You're going to have Forsberg in net after Olmark stood in his head last night. And the way that you attack the Sens is you're super aggressive on the forecheck, and you play a little faster of a game than you do normally. So, I think this is the perfect spot to do it. If you're the Flyers, do I want to back them with Fedorov in net, who just got confirmed? I don't know why he's starting. I know he's been good lately, but I wasn't expecting him to. But he's been good recently, and honestly makes me like it makes me like it better because he's been good recently. If you look at the numbers too, he's had like a crazy goals saved above expected jump. And since he's come back for, I think 3 games, he's been in now. One of those games was the one where Ersson got pulled. So Ersson's been struggling. Fedorov's actually put up solid numbers. Now you get a back-to-back spot where just when the Flyers have a perfect opportunity to take control, and I don't know, you have a goalie that's actually playing decent hockey against a team off a back-to-back, and the Sens at home, it's probably going to fall apart. So I think he's going to give up some goals too. And I especially think the way the Flyers are going to have to play this game definitely opens them up defensively. So taking this over 5.5, buying low, I think we get a Michkov masterclass tonight.
All right. Buying low, back at some goals. Over 5.5. Have we seen any movement on this total at all yet, or no?
I think it's relatively the same. I don't think it's moved much, if at all.
Haven't seen any movement. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just movement, I guess, in the game towards the Flyers, which is kind of expected.
All right. Well, yeah, the last time they played, I know it was last year, but it was this season. It was a high-scoring affair. The time before that, the over would have hit as well. Same with the time before that, and the time before that, and the time before that. Crazy. When these teams play, we see plenty of goals. Let's hope that's the case tonight. And I do like the Flyers on the ML as well. Thought that was kind of weird with them catching that steam after 4 straight L's, but they are home. Senators are playing pretty well, though, right now. I thought that was some disrespect.
Yeah, they are.
You think the Flyers might lead the way here with some goals?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest premise of this. I'm expecting the Flyers to come out and score goals for really the first time in a week and a half. So I just don't feel like trusting Fedorov, their goalie, who's been actually really good as of late, and it's the most obvious possible spot for him to lock in and win them a game after he's been as good as he has recently. So I think it comes with goals on both sides.
Okay. W Pega coming in, resubbing. You're a fucking beast, Pega. We appreciate you. You're a goat. Hope you're having the greatest start to your day you possibly can. All right. W's. What was Krabs' last play again? Last play was UTEP on the ML. UTEP on the ML. All right. And if you guys miss our plays, we might have them going across the bottom ticker. I'm sure Goots will confirm or deny here in a moment once we power through and finish up the Sharp Report recap. Okay. Why don't we take a peep at some squares? Some of our favorite prize pick squares. Okay. Yep.
Krabs.
Yep.
No way we're getting them up and moving.
Yep. Big one today for Toby, folks. Big one today for Toby. This one just simply means more. If you guys don't know, you're about to. Toby Lawal, future NBA player. Just fucking wait. As he continues to grow and develop. He's only a sophomore. This kid's a beast. He's also a former Cal Bear. Okay. If I was Toby Lawal tonight, I'd probably have some added motivation playing against my former squad that I dipped out, and now I come over to BT. Both teams are pretty rat shit, so I'm not going to act like he made the right or wrong decision. I feel like it doesn't matter too much. Both teams kind of suck. But if I was willing to bet, I'd say Toby Lawal might have a little extra pep in his step out there on the court against his former team and his buddies. He might have, a little extra added motivation out there on the court tonight facing his former team. And let's not forget the Hokies did already beat this team once back in January by 3 points. So, yeah, we could talk about how weird it is to see Cal as a favorite this time around. Sure, but the Hokies have played good enough where I'm comfortable backing their star, Toby Lawal, to not only score tonight, but also grab some boards and make some assists as well. But Toby Lawal, he's going to have to show up for this Hokies team if they want any sort of chance against this squad. And he had 8 points and 8 rebounds, no assists first time around. When they played earlier this year, I think this time around, they had an assist square up there earlier this morning, Jovan, that they took off because the more than was super juicy on the books and it was super green, looked like a free more than, and they took it off. So it probably is. Thought that was a great sign for his PRA and for him to get at least one assist today, but probably a couple. Toby, he's showing up against his former team. He did not hit this number the first time around against Cal, but had 8 points and 8 rebounds. I think we can expect double-digit points, same amount of rebounds, and a couple assists in there as well. He's going more than his PRA against his former squad tonight.
Sure. I joke about it, but I'm at.
Good. Love that. W confidence. Jack Payne. You hip to this kid? You see him going viral last night for his mustache on the feed?
Yeah. It's a crazy stash. Insane
crazy stash. Pretty good player as well for Idaho, the Vandals. And I would love to shout out the Potatoes, but I can't. After their showing last night.
They should be shouted out to somewhere in, I don't know, send them off to an island of prison. One of those random ones in the middle of the Pacific.
W mid-major. Krabs boosting those admissions numbers. I don't have to, man. That school's hard as shit to get into right now. It's already doing well. I don't need my ass. I wouldn't even get in there anymore. Jack Payne. All right, let's stay locked in right now. Let's stay dialed. Jack Payne coming off a great game last night, Jovan, one of his best games of the season. I didn't think it was a coincidence that this tournament's being played in Boise, Idaho. You want to take a guess at where my guy Jack Payne's from?
No way we got a homecoming.
He's from the Smurf turf land. Yep, he's from Boise. I think there's a correlation there between him showing up against or in his hometown last night, dropping 20-plus points. I think he does it again tonight. And I think they're honestly a live dog. Idaho, I know they're not catching the steam that I was hoping to get for Idaho late night tonight against Montana, but Montana's low-key been a wagon so far this season, and Montana has beaten the Vandals the last 5 times in a row they played them. So not super shocked to see Montana catching steam. But I think our guy Jack Payne shows up and shows out for the second night in a row. He averages around 10 points per game. Thought it was weird seeing him up there for 12 points, but after he had a legacy game last night, I think he carries that confidence in his hometown in front of his parents, probably his girlfriend, all his buddies, right, showing up. He's going to be the one taking the shots once again, just like he was last night. By far the most volume for the Idaho Vandals last night. Nothing's changing tonight after he had a career game. All right? He's showing up and dropping a 13 berg. We're not asking for the world here, Jovan. Right?
Yeah.
13 points. Come on. All right. Let's swing it around. I want to see what Jovan squares. He's cooking up. Okay. Going to the Zags.
We're taking the Zags tonight. And
sure.
The way that St. Mary's plays the Zags, it's the same every time, where they just play like super deep drop coverage. And a lot of the time they're like forcing them hard to actually get to the bucket. Not that he's uncomfortable with that, but obviously he wants to be much more of a facilitator. So they kind of funnel him downhill. So I think he's going to have a good scoring game. He can get 15 points by himself if he's super aggressive. But obviously Ryan Nembhard is one of, if not the best facilitator in all of college basketball. When you do get downhill like he does, even though they want to cut off like the perimeter, so like shooters aren't going to be nearly as open as they are against every other team. The drop downs to like EK, Greg, and a lot of the guys that are on the dunker spot are going to be there too, because St. Mary's, when they defend the Zags, it's pretty much just that's the only way they're going to let you beat them, and they want to clog the paint as much to try and make that tough on them. But obviously Ryan Nembhard and EK and whoever is going to be the recipient of his passes are good enough to get around that. So I just think this is going to be the main source of their offense. So obviously we're taking the Zags. You got to lean into it somehow. So take it as PA. Give me 20, give me 10 and 10 if you really need to. But then going to the ice, Dawson Mercer. The Devils are playing the Blue Jackets tonight, which I was a little scared looking at the total because I kind of wanted to take the over. That's moved down quite a bit. But regardless of like what the goal output is of this game, I think the Devils, ever since Jack Hughes has been out, they've played a lot slower. Obviously, that's deliberate because they don't have the same offensive firepower. But one of the teams that you can't do this against is the Blue Jackets. And it's not just because like playing slow is going to get hurt against the Blue Jackets. It's not necessarily the case, but like they want to speed you up, and they do really well against teams that are playing slow at making them do that. They did that the first time against the Devils. Obviously that was with Jack Hughes, so it's a little different of a situation, but the Devils know where the holes are in this defense, which is why, I mean, they ripped on them the first time. And I think the same thing can be expected from them today, especially because Jack Hughes had a million SOGs that first game, but so did a bunch of the guys in the depth or from the depths in like the third and fourth lines. Since Jack Hughes has been out, like Mercer's on the third line now where he's with Palat and Tatar. So like prior to this, he didn't really have to be a source of offense. He was kind of just a facilitator on his previous line. But now I think this is the perfect spot. He's been a little more aggressive. Like he scored the last couple games. One of them was an empty netter, but he's also missed a lot of easy looks at the net. Or like against the Jets, he missed a couple, I believe, where he was just kind of forcing it from, the blue line, essentially. He was really deep for no reason. Now you're playing the Blue Jackets, much more open game. Obviously, that line, you got to be a little more aggressive. You got to be a source of offense. I think it's going to be a faster game. So taking them to rip two, Krabs.
Well, I'm already locked in, and I dropped the link in the chat as well if they want to get involved on the BTL Sharp Report format involving these 4 squares from these Sharp Reports. Locked them in. Drop the link in the chat if you guys want to tail. Okay? W. Nemhard, Notman Major Matt in the chat talking about how Hickman turned his ankle last night. That could only help Nemhard. Sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out the Zags for once again not covering against San Francisco when they beat them every year but don't cover. How do they do it? Unbelievable. I really thought they were going to cover that game. Well, let's hope the Zags can come through tonight and hand St. Mary's their first L in this matchup out of 3 this season. Okay?
Yep, need it.
We're going to need the Zags tonight. W Vegas Tom coming in, resubbing as well. Let's go, Vegas Tom. Sure we can. Where are the dart slips? Mikhail, those come on the Surge stream in the next 30 minutes. We don't do the dart slips on here. Okay? Jovan hates Lampkins. Yes, he does.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, Jovan does hate Eddie Lampkins. That is true. All right, flash the Sharp Report. Beef Stewski's saying, can we flash the people the Sharp Report one more time, Gootsy, if you don't mind? Beautiful. W's, Goots. All right, you got the ticker on the bottom, chat. If you want our plays that we just went over, our best bets, our favorite prize pick squares, they are scrolling across the bottom ticker. Okay, and like I said earlier, we did release the College Basketball Power Conference pods. If you guys want to check that out later today, maybe you're going to the gym, maybe you're going to the grocery store, maybe you got to go out and do something, listen to that puppy on the move. All right, put your AirPods in, listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music, or if you're home, give it a watch on YouTube and drop a like. If you want to see our beautiful faces over an hour of College Basketball Power Conference talk. All right, go check out that pod for me. Let me know what you guys think. Okay? W's. Jovan, Brandon Lau, Legacy Season, and Yankee Stadium Junior loading from UB Bulls.
I mean, yeah, probably. I'm shocked at how many people love Brandon Lau this year. Not that I disagree. He just seems to be – there's a lot of pressure on him this year. I'm excited to see how it works.
OG Sowers, my joint up and moving today. Let me know.
I need my joint.
Let me know.
Might need that.
All right, here's what I need. because me and Goots are going to the CAA championship tonight. And by the way, I'm trying to convince Goots to go to the Navy and American game tomorrow, which is also in DC. And I would love some peer pressure help from you, Jovan, in chat, because I know he doesn't want to go back-to-back nights. Would love some peer pressure. So I could try to bully him into coming with me tomorrow. But yeah, big night tonight. Let's stay focused. CAA championship. I'm very excited. I've never gone to this event, but it's been in my backyard the last couple of years. It's not a Capital One. It's at Care First Arena somewhere in DC. Not in the greatest area, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's a new arena, and it looks kind of electric on TV. At least it did last night. I'm excited to get in there. We got pretty good seats as well. We'll have a pretty good view of this game tonight. Delaware and UNC Wilmington. Okay, winner of this game, chat, goes to March Madness. Winner of this game wins their conference, right? And for a little bit of a background, Delaware is the worst team to ever make it to the championship from this conference. A 12 seed has never made it to the CAA conference championship. Trust me, they brought it up 100 times on the broadcast the other night. And I'm sure they'll bring it up again tonight. Delaware, a team in the 12 spot, has never fucking made it this far. But this team is better than they played during the season. Delaware has a really good coach. Delaware has John Camden, former Hokie. Can't make it up. He's their best player. They've also got the former Florida Gators guard as well, who had a great game last night, but did not have a great game against UNC Wilmington. The last time they played him in the regular season, Jovan, I'm going to check the Carfax, but I believe he had 0 points.
Wow, big
in that last matchup, which is crazy. Not good. But tonight, he's going to have to show up. I want your thoughts. UNC Wilmington is a covering machine. UNC Wilmington, obviously the favorites to win this game, to win this conference. But Jovan, Delaware kind of feels like a team of destiny. Delaware has some magic going on right now, and they have at least enough talent to hang around. And they have a good coach who's confident right now, chirping people saying, oh, we should be on national TV more. I mean, if they're playing like they are this tournament, they should have been on CBS more this season, right? Yeah. What are your thoughts on Delaware versus UNCW?
I'm a little shocked the line's this short, to be honest with you. I know Delaware is just a magic team right now, but they lost by 30 points. And the line was fatter than it is now. It was at 10.5 just a little over a week ago. So I know they've put together a much better string of basketball since then, but it's crazy because this UNC Wilmington team is just can't be beat and can't not cover until last night, even though they still won the game. So I'm shocked to see it where it is. I mean, again, I definitely don't want to have coins on the other side of the Blue Hens.
Do we just ride the hot hand, back the momentum, back the Blue Hens?
I mean, especially if you're going boots on ground, you're going to have to.
5th game in 5 days. You're goddamn right, Stan.
Yeah.
You're goddamn right. Let me check the Carfax. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about a 5-piece tonight? Yep. How about a 5-piece? Their last loss was to this UNCW team, like Jovan was talking about, by 30 points. 30-piece in that last game. And that was on March 1st. I believe that was actually Delaware's last regular season game. And Jovan, this can't go unstated as well. I mean, they lost 6 games to end the regular season. They lost 9 of their last 10 games to close out the regular season. They could not have been playing worse.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Spreads up to 9 some places, chat saying.
I mean, it should be 13, 14.
Yeah. I get why it's a little shorter with how good Delaware's looked, and it's still a championship game. Championship games are going to have tighter spreads, but certainly weird, and you don't see championship games often when the teams just played and one of them beat the other team by 30 points less than 2 weeks ago. So that kind of throws a wrench into things. I am a little bit concerned about back in Delaware, I'll be honest, Jovan. But they do have some magic going, and they do have Camden, former Hokie. And they've got Niels Lane, former Gator, who had a goose egg confirmed against UNC Wilmington in the last game of the regular season. I don't know if he got benched. I don't know if he was hurt, but he only played 10 minutes in that game. Pretty weird.
Sure.
I want to take UDML, but I'm slightly biased. The lads is saying, sure. Do you guys ever look at college basketball first half lines? Yes, we do at times. I've noticed that as soon as I switch to first half, that's when the full games start to hit and the first half start caking. So I typically stick to full games, but once we get to March Madness time, I'm sure I'll have some first half angles.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, most of the time, if you're diversifying between one of the two, you're just guessing. It's really what it is.
Gosh, man. I'm torn on this game. Goots, you have any thoughts on Delaware and UNC Dub before we move? If not,
I feel the same as you. I'm pretty torn.
I want to back the Magic. I want to back the Blue Hens. I want to back Coach. I want to back Camden. I want to back Mills Lane. I want to ride with Jovan, but I also think UNC Wilmington just wins and covers every game.
Yeah, part of me thinks Delaware might be cake. But it's fun rooting for a dog in person. But
it is. You know what's more fun though, Goots?
Money.
Getting a bet.
Yeah.
And money. Yes. Good.
I was just about to say you're also the same guy that sweats an under while being at a game. So
yeah, and you know what? That's a good point as well. Maybe it's the under.
I'm not taking that.
Maybe it's the under. The totals dropped a good amount. Although every time I take an under in these conference tourneys, they never hit.
Never hit.
They never hit.
I think you have to let the total dropping just skirt by, because that happens in 90% of conference championship games.
Dead Billy Bird hit it on the head. Heart says Hens. Brain says UNCW.
Yeah. And Jovan, I really want to climb aboard the Blue Hens wagon here. I just know as soon as I took them last night on the spread, but I know as soon as I lock them in against UNCW, breaking my golden rule of not fading UNCW, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I can respect it. I'm not pushing you to them. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I've seen the story a couple of times in the last couple of days, honestly. Everybody thought they were sharp breaking the Pepperdine streak yesterday, and St. Mary's bettors were in cat shit. Maybe it's the same thing today.
Yeah. Maybe Delaware's got a little more fight left in them. I mean, I really want to bet them, but I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't break my rule. I can't fade UNCW. Every time I do, I lose all my coins, and they are 20-11 again against the spread this season. I can't do it. I can't do it. But man, I want to. Oh. Big Cheesy, you are not wrong, my man. UNC Wilmington is a covering machine. They have been for the last couple of seasons. It's insane.
You're goated.
It's insane. They are goated. Yes. All right. You want to talk about a couple of these other conference championships or conference tournament games here?
Sure.
Why not? Looks like Cincy's up 12 at half against OK State. Sure.
Goats.
I want to hear your thoughts on Cal versus the Hokies. I've already given mine.
I mean, what do you think my thoughts are, Krabs?
Yeah, this is your Cowboys against my Hokies. I think it's pretty weird Cal's a favorite after losing already the season to him, right?
A favorite and growing, too. -3.5 neutral site, when the neutral site isn't really all that neutral for Cal, because you got to bake in travel across the country. Seems pretty crazy, I would say. And I trust me, I don't want to bet on Cal because they're fucking terrible. But the line is pretty insane, I would say.
I agree. Yep. If it wasn't fading my Hoks, I'd be all over it. But I would recommend to a friend. Lock it in, Cal. Pretty weird. They're catching some steam as favorites against a team they've already lost to this season. You better just hope Toby Lawal doesn't show up and turn it in Shaq. He could.
Yeah.
He certainly could. All right. Drew coming in with the resub as well. Drew 0312 W's tail the pitch cake. Barca both teams to score with PSG game over a half first half. Let's have a day, boys. That's a mouthful, Drew. Sheesh. UNC is winning the ACC.
Oh, boy.
Would love your thoughts on the pod, yay lads, if you give that puppy a listen. Would love your thoughts. Okay? What the? Is that Trent the mini box? Whoa. Been a while.
I'm certain, dude. I'm certain.
I didn't realize we were on
Sure.
StreamYard.
Old StreamYard. Sure. Yep.
It's been a while.
You excited for Surge today?
No.
Yeah, I could tell. Are you a little butthurt about one of your squares losing last night? Who gives a shit? Lock in.
Need Cincy bad.
Dude. No way you're already throwing whales first game of the day.
Yeah.
Well, if you want another whale or parlay piece, Pitt plays in about 20 minutes, and they're probably not losing that game. Also, the Cal Bears against my Hokies that are up there on the boards. Cal is a favorite in catching steam against my Hokies, and my Hokies have beaten them already this season, which is pretty fucking weird that we were just talking about. Jovan's all over it. How many units? Just one or what?
Cal. On Cal?
Mm-hmm.
Just the one, Krabs.
Okay.
Honestly, solely for the purpose of entering Berg with you.
Okay. Good luck.
Should I take Cal's Pitt 2-piece Bozo?
Yeah. I would have nothing against that, to be honest with you. It's a lot. Yeah. Why don't you add Grambling in there, money line too? Fuck it.
It's the first 3 power conference favorites of the day.
I mean, to be honest, I like all those plays.
Cal and Pitt.
I do like them, but yeah, when you say that out loud, that does not sound good.
Yeah.
That does not sound good. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trent.
Let's just get through Cincinnati.
Okay. One at a time. Okay. Any thoughts on Delaware, UNC Wilmington tonight, Trent?
Hell no.
Okay.
Why would you like?
You mind taking UNC Wilmington for the team? Maybe an ML parlay piece? Me and Goots are about to go sweat this game out in DC, make some content at the championship. We're trying to back the Blue Hens, but first ever time a 12 seed is in the championship in this conference. So on paper, they should get fucking thraxed. But they're only getting 8.5 points. Interesting.
Is that one of your plays?
No. Jovan's trying to sell me on the Blue Hens, but every time I fade UNC Wilmington, that team wins and covers, and they are 19-10 against the spread this season as well. So they are an absolute covering machine. I've been screaming that for the last 3 years. All this team does is win and cover. UNC Wilmington. They're unbelievable. If it was any other team, that's why I was texting Goots last night during that Wilmington game. I said, I'm rooting for Charleston. I want to fade Charleston and take Delaware in the championship. I can't fade Wilmington. Every time I do, I lose coins. They cover every game. Here's another really good point from JD in chat, real quick, because this is a game that I wanted to bring up that we have not talked about yet. Utah Tech and Southern Utah. Goots, one of the earlier games, 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
Talk of the town tonight, Krabs.
What's good with this spread, man?
It doesn't look that weird to me. I don't understand.
It looks like the weirdest play to me on the entire board today.
Does it though? Because I think something people also don't know. This game is at Utah Tech. They're at home. So they beat them. They're a terrible team, and they lost to Southern Utah twice. But the last time they played them at Utah Tech, they were -4. So I mean, it's not that big of an adjustment. It's not to say I'm taking Southern Utah or lean Southern Utah. I just don't think it's as weird as it appears.
I'm seeing a team that's absolutely atrocious, that has 6 wins this season, that has already lost to this team twice this season. The first one was close. The second one was not. And they are up to not only favorites, but -5.5, -6 some places. That might be the weirdest line I've seen all college basketball season. I'm not going to.
You want me to add something to it, Krabs?
Sure.
Southern Utah, in their last couple of games where they're also playing a little shorthanded, they scored 39 points in the last game of the season and lost by 23. And before that, they played Utah Valley, scored 59 points and lost by 41.
Wow.
Those were the 2 games in between the last time they played Utah Tech.
Yeah. 39-62, they lost to Seattle. That's crazy.
At home. Wow.
Seattle has a really good defense, but
while Seattle shot 2 for 21 from 3. They shot 2 for 21 from 3 and won by 21 points against Southern Utah.
Wow. That certainly makes it less weird, but I still think it's really weird, and I still think Utah Tech is getting the job done today. I think they're a really good parlay pace.
Primer, bro. Tell me why I woke up to a DM from this chick I went to TCU with. 3 a.m. in Vegas. You guys were hanging out.
Bro.
Okay. Let's go, Prime.
What's the story there? Did you seal the deal?
W Prime.
Let's go, Prime. Making some friends out there in Vegas. Sure.
Tagging beef. Love that.
Okay.
That was the last DM I ever thought I would receive.
I mean, that's a crazy DM to read in the AM.
Prime literally out. Emmanuel Classe at 3 a.m.
Or Daniel Bard. Probably Daniel Bard.
Yeah, it might have been more Daniel Baird. Crazy, bro. 5 big booms for Prime. Sure, Canadian Goods. Hilarious. All right. Jovan, I don't know. I'm going to agree to disagree with you here, man. Respectfully. I think it's fucking weird. Certainly everything you said makes it make more sense, right? Southern Utah sucks as well. We can't let that get swept. They do. They suck as well.
Horrible. I
can't get over the line move. And the fact that they're up to -5.5, -6 is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, fair.
It's crazy. But yeah, both these teams are rat shit. And nothing should be nuked in that game because both teams are absolutely terrible. A couple other games I wanted to bring up here before we get to the squad rides. Arizona State, Kansas State, I want to talk about. Okay. As we get a sub ban coming in from Drew, you're a fucking beast. Appreciate you again, my man. Arizona State, they're a dead team right now. They're toast. I mean, coach is about to get fired. They're kicking out the best player on the team. I cannot even imagine how toxic it is in that locker room. But Jovan, they open up +4.5 against Kansas State. This is starting to worry me a little bit with my take on the pod that we just did for the CBB Power Conferences, gassing up Kansas State as a potential sleeper. I'm a little bit concerned. Looking at the spread, Kansas State looks like the easiest ML parlay piece on the board. It looks like a great-looking ML piece. And you get Coleman Hawkins back, and I watched his point square get bumped down on Prize Picks today. I am concerned about the spread and where it opened up at 4.5. Thought that was some serious respect for a dead Arizona State team. What do the books know?
Adam Miller's playing. That probably has something to do with it. I know Quaintance is out, but I saw a tweet earlier saying Adam Miller would be up and active, which I don't think was expected because he hasn't played in, I think, 2 weeks. So that probably has a little bit to do with it. But I am with you. It's still probably a little short, all things considered. You still have Coleman Hawkins playing on literally a fractured leg. So
yep.
I don't know if the bump down is really scaring me too much for him, but I don't know. I definitely want to take some Kansas State squares that are not Coleman Hawkins because they've been the coldest shooting team of all time. And there are some decently weird looking squares up there.
Like that Doug McDaniel 1.5 3 square?
Doug 1.5 threes. Brendan Halsen is also up for, I think, a goblin when he has no business being up for a goblin. He's obviously the guy that's only there to shoot, so I might just take his points, but something's got to give there, even if they end up not covering or losing the game.
Yeah, it could be a good game for points, like Clove is talking about in the chat, right? Totals up a couple points as well from that opener.
Yeah.
Chat, next field goal made, Cincinnati 3-pointer +500.
You need to be shot, dude.
If that hits, I'm gouted.
In GTA, man.
I'm impressed they have that market up for you.
I know, me too.
Is that in the live book?
It was a timeout, and so you can bet on next. Oh, turnover, Cincy ball. Come on.
Okay.
If they hit a 3 here, I'm fucking him.
Come on, hit a transition 3. Show some heart.
Oh, it was a 2. Fuck.
Okay.
Hooked.
Well, that's an L hook. Yep.
Hook of chewer.
Hooked.
Unbelievable. A dunk. Oy, oy, oy. Well, shit. Let me know when you're running back that next one. +500. All right. Chat, we got to lock the fuck in here. I want to give Jovan the floor and make sure there's no other CBB games that he wants to let the people know about, or if there's anything on the ice or the association as well. Jovan, now's the time. We got a couple minutes. Let the people know. What are you eyeing over there?
I got to know if Trent's whaling the frogs midday.
I was waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I'm a little scared only because it seems kind of easy, even though they just got blasted by Colorado. Colorado hasn't won a game away from home all year.
Like, why are we not nuking?
I mean, I have nothing against it. And the Frogs are catching some steam, which I guess is good. I thought the opening line was a little bit short, everything considered, though. Again, even though they got blasted at Colorado in the last game of the regular season. But I'm still down. I'm down to get involved.
I've seen Colorado on feed. Looks like the easiest plus check.
I've seen it a couple times.
Looks like the easiest plus. They haven't won a single game away from home this season.
Well, they did. They just beat TCU by 20, which I guess is
that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Hey, I think it's a great sign for the Frogs catching steam. I think that opener was a little concerning, but I think where TCU is sitting at right now, like, should they be laying 3.5, 4 to anybody right now? I don't know.
Probably not, but
probably not to the team they just lost to by 20, like Jovan was just saying.
Yeah. You know what I do want to take today, and I'm going to lock him in, is Vashon, which I'm surprised. I've seen his numbers get bumped up in front of my face, which is kind of weird because both games against Colorado, he hasn't really done shit. But this is, I think, the perfect time for him to get back involved because he's going to have to push the tempo, run the transition, get to the free throw line, and also be CP3. So I want to take his PA, PRA, something.
Wait, who's PA?
Vashon.
I bet.
You know who that is?
Yeah, I took him to score a 3-pointer in my green gob entry that one time, and he sold it.
Yeah, I remember that.
No shot.
Florida State ML, huh? I might be wailing.
Oh my God, we're dead.
Dude, Knicks Leafs were fucking oxygen.
There's a lot of good lay pieces, I feel like, in CBB today. We'll see how that plays out.
It's a horrible thing to say, Krabs.
Yeah.
Horrendous thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
McNeese
but there's a
ML
lot of
Trent?
good-looking lay pieces.
McNeese ML, lay piece?
I'm honestly shocked I haven't heard that yet.
Minus 2,000?
Or not the money line, the spread from you, or a team total or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be wailing them in the championship game. I don't need the semis.
I don't know if you want to get in the way of Northwestern State either, dudes, right this second. They look great.
Hot. They also played, I don't know, they played them, they got the shit pumped the first time, and then they came back at McNeese and played them weirdly close the second time because they just played super slow and tried to milk every second of the clock. So kind of worried they do that again.
Thoughts on Bob Morris? They goated up yesterday.
Yeah, they did. I feel like their journey might end tonight. Good old Bob Morris. Now, I will say Youngstown State has never been in this championship, I don't think. I saw that on Twitter earlier. This is their first time in this conference championship. They're playing good ball right now. I would lean the Penguins for Youngstown State. They played twice already this season. They split. Youngstown State beat them the first time. Bob Morris beat them second time around. I don't know. If you want to bet Bob Morris, I would certainly take the money line because I think Youngstown State keeps this game within a couple buckets, and this one goes down to the wire. Close game, low-scoring game. Totals dropped 7 points. This is going to be a lights bright. Bob Morris looks like a shell of themselves, and Youngstown State is so nervous in their first championship game. They're probably not helping out much either. The under is probably a pretty good look.
Penguins, goats.
Krabs, are you telling me that Gonzaga is winning against St. Mary's?
If there's any way I can make up for the Sanford cake that I gave you last weekend, if there's anything I could do, please bet on Gonzaga tonight against St. Mary's, and you will thank me tomorrow, or we can at least call it even after the Sanford cake. Take Gonzaga tonight. They are not losing this game. If they do, Mark Few's getting another DUI, stay off the roads tonight. They ain't losing. They lost to the St. Mary's team twice this season, Trent, and they're catching steam. And this is the best St. Mary's team that I've seen in my lifetime. And the Zags are still catching steam. Crazy.
How many units?
Take them. It'll be a 3-unit Geyserman for me.
What are the units these days?
250.
Really?
Yep. 3-unit Geyserman. Favorite play of the night by far.
Grabs them. Also completely off topic, but obligated to tell you, they just put up some goals allowed squares.
Yes.
One of them happens to be the Sens goalie, Forsberg, that is facing the Flyers tonight after 3 consecutive
games. 3 over.
Wow.
Dude, I'm in love with this category as of recent.
Yeah, it's been respecting coins overall.
I don't think I've picked it, like, with the help of course, some other people pointed it out. I don't think I've clicked a wrong button in that category so far.
Damn.
Yeah, a lot of times they're just insanely obvious looking charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reminds me of the earned runs category for the MLB pitchers.
I don't like that category. I hate that one.
Well, yeah, it might not have been as successful last year, but
Forsberg.
it's usually, Forsberg, more than
Off the
2.5
shutout?
No, not a real shutout.
Why?
He came in, I think the Olmark or whoever's in net got pulled or hurt or whatever had happened because he was only in there for like 20-some minutes. Fake shutout.
Huh. I just locked that in with a let more than points and assist for TCU in a little two-piece. Little two-piece side Geyserman.
Olmark was just oxygen.
That was a good-looking square.
Thanks for his undersaves, by the way, Trent. Appreciate that.
Undershaves?
Yeah,
No
Olmark
shot you had that locked in, bro.
No, I didn't, but I heard he had like 50 saves.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Chad, if you guys want to tail that two-piece, I'll drop the link. Okay?
Wow, I didn't even notice.
Sean Ouellette.
His points got bumped up again. Oh, his PA.
Maybe it was always his points.
Well, no, his PA did too. It's the same, but
okay.
What?
Is TCU winning?
I mean, yeah, I think so. It's not one of my more confident ones, though.
All right, I'm pairing TCU with Pitt.
Sure. Love it. Pitt gets it done tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me. That starts in 1 minute, by the way, Trent. Better lock that puppy in there.
Jovan, thoughts on Pitt?
I mean, I like Pitt. Wouldn't say I love them, but I'm invested.
Are you on Cal?
That I'm in on, yeah.
What if it's
DeAndre, we're sitting across the home bench, I believe. I forget what section it is, but we're sitting across the home bench, close to like the half-courtish line, I guess. But yeah, come say what's up. Come get a pick if you're going to the CAA championship tonight. Let's have a night. All right. Speaking of having a night, gentlemen, it's probably time for a little squad ride action. Let's craft up a winner so we can get you guys moving on to the surge stream here with Trent right after. Okay. Gatesy, if you don't mind, go ahead and run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. Sure. All right, chat. Got to bounce back after I gave you guys some cake last night with Arkansas State. All right, still 500 this month, but we got to eclipse that tonight with a squad ride W, keeping it simple. All right. Jovan, favorite play tonight? Is it that over?
Yeah, might be the over on the ice.
I was kind of hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Especially after seeing that goals allowed square going up there.
Yeah, that definitely made me feel good.
Okay. We're putting that puppy in there. Can we put what's Gonzaga at right now?
I'll have you know that I decided to stay off of Pitt. And I took Frogs and Cal.
Wow. Okay.
Tonsils two-piece. I mean, one of those three. One of those three is losing.
I know. And I saw
the right one.
I saw Goots' face in the queue, and I was like, I'm not going to deal with that bullshit right now.
What would I even say to you, Trent?
I can't deal with the bitching during the stream, bro. I had to just do it to myself to not take.
Good on you. Good on you. we don't need you on that. We got enough people on that. But fading the Hokies. Sure. If I wasn't an alum, I'd be probably putting 3 units on that. Looking like my favorite play today. They should not be favorites against VT. I don't want to fade the alma mater. Or else I'd be joining you. It's a good looking play though. Are you taking the ML or the spread, Jovan?
Cal?
Yep.
I took the -3.5.
Okay. And what are we taking for Gonzaga? Are we putting them on the spread and sacking up?
I took their -3.5, and then if the ML gets bettable early in the game, I'm going to add a unit.
What are we putting in the squad rod? Because they have to go in there. Let's put the spread in there.
Points, yeah.
Okay. Gonzaga -3.5, chat. We're putting that puppy in there. I'm definitely a really big fan of UTEP as well. I don't want to let that get swept.
What are we going to take for them? We'd have to take the points there too. Is there like -160?
Trey, you should add Jalen Green to the.
I'm seeing -150.
I mean, regardless, I feel like we can't go two juicy MLs in a row.
You want to go 2 plays, 2 winners? Quality over quantity?
If you want to put the points in there, I could respect points.
I'm not loving taking points when we got other plays in the sharp report. I'll be honest. I'll do it for Gonzaga because I'm going to nuke it. But I don't love that too much.
Fair. That makes sense.
I don't love that too much. But Gonzaga's going in there -3.5 because that play just has to go in here, and we're not laying that juice.
Right.
We're not laying that juice. Okay. Rev thinks Gonzaga's a trap. They're losing. We'll see.
Take St. Mary's and be in urine.
All right, let's run a 2-man poll. I want to go quality over quantity today. Quality over quantity today, 2-man poll. All right, you got 2 options, quality over quantity. We're going to make it easy for you guys today. All right, 2 plays, 2 winners. We got Gonzaga on the spreads, and we've got the Sens Flyers over. All right, if you're worried about Gonzaga being a trap, then take the over on the ice. If you think Gonzaga's a fucking nuclear missile whale play, then take Gonzaga on the spreads. 2 options, 2 great-looking plays. Both are turning green. Click the right button. Okay? Giote, Vintage Nuke. Yep. 3 units. Let's fucking have a night.
Notre Dame spawn job up 4.
All right.
Trent's already victory lapping, staying off.
Damn, Cincy doing job. Good for them. Okay.
Goats.
Yep. Chat, get those votes in. Soft for not betting Gonzaga, chat. Yeah, I agree. But either way, we're cashing tonight on the squad ride, so I'm not losing any sleep over it. 2 plays, 2 winners, chat. Sends Flyers over. Gonzaga -3.5. Lock those votes in. All right, me and Goots will be boots on ground at the CAA Championship tonight in DC. Make sure you guys stick around for the surge stream starting up right after this as well. Trent is going to craft up some winners on Prize Picks and on the books. Do me a favor, guys. Pitch Trent some WSL jobs for today. All right? He's got to get those Jalen Green coins back. Goods, I appreciate the Kobe Mayo updates. Thank you. Good work.
Kobe Mayo single updates in the big 2-5.
Sure.
105 with the bat.
Sure. Jack, get those votes in. We got a close race. Okay? Please get involved. And please stick around on Twitch or YouTube for the surge stream starting up right after this. Okay? Get those votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. It's going to be the over on the ice. Sure. W's, Jovan. I'm in. And after seeing that square up on Prize Picks for the goals allowed, super in. All right? W. Jovan. W. Trent for stopping by. And there he goes. See ya. Have a good surge stream, Trent. Talk in a minute. W stream today, guys. W Elf coming on in the beginning as well. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Great episode today. Great show. Let's kill it. Let's cash the squad ride tonight and over on the ice. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be.
We'll be.
Peace, chat.